this is the old Mott and Bailey Castle. So you've got the wall now like a little farmhouse thing, and the Mott, and then the Bailey, and there's people standing over there. So it said it was originally a Norman castle, Mott and Bailey Castle, that was rebuilt in the 12th century to have a stone wall, and then became a ruin in 1465, something like that. I'll check on the way out. This is the outer defences, this part. Then you have it dips down where you've dug the mud out. Then you mound it back up here, and then they mound that defence there. And you would have had walls all the way around and on this bit as well. So you would have had like an initial gate where we walked through, and then a subsequent gate, and yeah, rings of wall. Probably made of wood. Because they said it was built in stone later on. And you've got the Bailey over there.
It looks like they've thrown tree trunks down, doesn't it? To try and
So where you've now got kind of one piece of wall that runs up, you'd have had one on this side as well. And it probably would have been covered, so they would have had cover moving from the main fort up to the Bailey, where you would have had the other tower. You can see the rooms. You've got like little rooms at the back of the castle. Because you've got the dividing walls. So they may have been like storage or like a cooking bit maybe.
It's made out of mortar and flint. So it's all different flints, because that must be the local rock maybe, or maybe that's just good at resisting attack maybe. And then you've got your kind of mortar or cement that's holding it all together. It's kind of crumbling. It looks like originally it would have been a window. The rest looks a bit strange, so maybe it's been re-cemented and it's a bit crumbly in there. So we're at this old gatehouse, which is why it kind of dips down here, and you've got an angular edge showing the part of this wall, well, part of that wall, because it's on that side. It says, an important early Norman castle, strategically located on the route to London, 30 miles away. The first castle was built around 1070 by William the Conqueror's half-brother, Robert of Mortain. It was in classic Norman Mott and Bailey form, with a conical mound and oval bailey laid out below. The castle stayed in royal hands, and in 1155, Thomas Becket, who was made Archbishop of Canterbury by Henry II,
was granted the honour of Berkhamsted by King Henry II. As Chancellor, he was the King's right-hand man and enjoyed great favour. He rebuilt the castle to befit his new status and house his large staff. Becket's building probably included the huge stone curtain wall. Later in 1164, during his quarrel with the king, Becket was accused of embezzlement. He was disgraced with the honour of and the honour of Berkhamsted was taken from him. In 1170, he was murdered.
So Sam is standing at the gate of the castle.
So you've got the edge here.
Mm.
You see with that bit of angular wall.
Mm.
The edge of the gatehouse is here. The other edge of the gatehouse. It starts here, goes to there. There's the bit of wall. Here into there. You have the bridge going across. The bridge would have run across. You have the gatehouse going up. Probably with portcullis. So this is a tower. You may have had like steps going in, but in there, you'll see the walls curved because it would have been like an alcove space going up. Yeah, so it curves in this little bit here. So you would have probably had this as a tower. So probably, don't know, entrance into the wall originally, or don't know, a little alcove, but probably in the entrance into a room, maybe.
That may have been a fireplace.
You go further back.
I could go through my WhatsApps and be able to find it.
Oh, good one. You've also got a little oven.
Ah, so this is a kitchen area. An oven here.
They have an oven thing. It says they were kept away from the main building in case of fire.
Ah, makes sense.
Got them burned down here. It says, the Black Prince was created first Duke of Cornwall in 1337. It's since remained the title for the eldest son of the sovereign.
And that's the well.
Oh. It says, Berkhamsted was designed as a fortress with impressive earthwork defences, a high moat and a stone curtain wall. The water-filled ditches prevented tunnelling under the wall, and the moat could protect the bailey as well as defend from attacks from the north. In 1216, the castle's defences were put to the test. Prince Louis of France had invaded England at the invitation of the English barons, who were opposed to the king. In December of that year, Louis laid siege to Berkhamsted after taking Hertfordshire Castle. Louis besieged the castle for 2 weeks, battering it with huge stones flung from siege weapons. The earthwork buttresses visible behind you against the outer ditch probably supported them, although it is unclear which side built them. The castle eventually surrendered on the instructions of the new king. It's not really clear with that. There's a well on top of this baby.
Come on. Good. Can you read that? Berkhamsted Castle. Strong defences capable of withstanding a siege.
Berkhamsted was designed as a fortress. We had impressive earthwork, come here, defences, a high moat and a stone curtain wall. The water for...
Shall we climb down?
Not yet, I want to read this, hold on. The wall all around there. Can you see those all around?
It says Richard Earl of Cornwall, this is his seal, and 13 gold balls of Richard arms still incorporated into Berkhamsted town seal. It says he built grand apartments at the castle between 1209 and 1272 was when he was the Earl. He was granted it in 1225 by his brother, King Henry. He was believed to be the richest man in England. He was a skillful diplomat, often involved in his brother's political affairs. He repaired and refurbished the castle, enlarged this western tower to create a luxurious palace complex. Part of the palace believed to be the chapel, and possibly the undercroft of the Grand Chamber remain in front of you. So that's the chapel and main chamber.
So this is the part of the undercroft.
That curving part, you see? And this would have been maybe a storage area.
It's the windowsill.
Windowsills, did you say?
Yeah. You got like the mortar where you would have. I think. Well, I don't know.
But this is the palatial room, they think, maybe part of the chapel. It incorporates flints from the castle wall, and there's like a new pile of flints, so wonder if they're from the wall, or maybe the local area.